uncensored session ito. And Attorney Vic, I'd like to tell you, here at Kamuning Bakery Cafe, we love to give an opportunity to underdogs in politics. When you came here the first time, si President Bongbong Marcos was the opposition. And when President Duterte was president, si Vice President Leni Robredo came here several times also. We have also Leonide Guzman, we have all kinds of people, even Senator Ping Lacson, lahat ng, even government people of course, and people like you with critical and good analysis, fearless. Sir, ako na lang mag-start ng question. Sinabi niyo, there's a danger of shifting to parliamentary. Why do you see this danger? Akala ko kasi patay na yung charter change move. May charter change move in the last previous several months na parang has quieted down already. Parang people think na dead issue already because late na siya for the previous Congress. Do you foresee possibility na attempts by people in power to again push charter change politically?
I believe so, that the move to amend the charter, either through people's initiative or through whatever mode or medium, is still very much alive. It just so happened that they encountered a very, very stiff opposition, validated by a survey sometime in February or March of this year, wherein it showed that 88% of the respondents rejected resoundingly any move to amend the Constitution. Not today, not yesterday, not even tomorrow, nor in any immediate future. But again, as I have mentioned in my opening, midterm election serves as a referendum. Now, if kung magwawalang tibulang ang mga mamamayang Pilipino, magkikibit-balikan, hindi makikialam at hindi magiging engaging sa darating na midterm election, ang mangyayari, they might take it to mean, I mean the administration, that the people have validated, assuming they will win resoundingly in this coming midterm election. They will take, I think, they will take that to mean, my analysis, as an affirmation of what they have done for the country. Unlike if like-minded Filipinos will band together and will make a principled and decisive and authoritative stand to oppose any move to amend the Constitution and to put credible and sensible people in elected posts and be active in trying to crystallize real issues, ay ba hindi natin sila hayaan na magawa itong kanilang patuloy na pagtatangka na baguhin ang ating saligang batas. At ang pagbabago niyan ay hindi upang umunlad ang Pilipinas. Dahil ulitin ko, in the many forums of Hakbang ng Mahisog, I have been very, very vocal in saying that the problem is not the Constitution. The problem is the corruption. Problem 50 years ago, still problem today. Ang problema, palala ng palala, corruption pa rin. And again, I'm not saying that we have a perfect Constitution. No. Kailangan natin i-revisit ang ating Constitution periodically. But not with this set of officials. Not with them. Not with them. Maybe in the future, but not with them. Not now. And they should hit the result of that survey, 88% rejection. Ulitin ko, 88% emphatic rejection. No to any move to amend the charter in whatever form, in whatever vehicle. Not today, not tomorrow, not even yesterday, and not in the immediate future.
Thank you very much. Ay, may tanong dito. Tapos si ladies first. Si Miss Delia, ladies first. One of the earliest to come here. Paki-state your full name again, Delia, from Philippine Star. One of the earliest to come here.
Delia Calyasi, sir. Sir, nabanggit nyo nga ng papatay ang Tatcha. So, ano ang ipipili kayo ng government? Tutuloy pa mag-a-active mo si isipin ko other forms of amendment of constitution?
It all depends, I think, Bella, I think it will all depend. It will all depend heavily on the turnout and the outcome of the midterm election. As we all know, sa tingin ko wala namang debate na alam nating lahat that they have full control of the House of Representatives. They're just encountering not stiff, but somehow a credible opposition or pushback from the members of the Senate, from our senators. But if they will be able to successfully fill in the Senate with their own allies and people, I think there is a danger na they will run all these maneuvers to tinker with our Constitution. But again, hindi kasi para sa ikaunlad ng bawat Pilipino, hindi kasi isa sa ikaunlad ng bansa. Gagawin lang nila yan just to ensure that they remain in power in perpetuity. And maybe, if we will allow them, it would take another banding together of the Filipino people, pretty much like what we had in 1986, to assert our sovereignty and the sovereign rights of the people to choose our leaders and to speak up finally. Pero medyo long shot pa yun sa akin.
Sir, other question. Nabanggit ni Carlos na bumisita kayo kay former President Duterte. Meron bang kung ano yung napag-usapan niyo? At sa kayo daw po, undecided pa siya kung tatakbo, meron ba siyang naibahagi sa inyo na information?
Magandang tanong yan. Magandang tanong yan.
I was in Davao nung Monday. I was in Davao last Monday. Hindi ko nakita si Pangulong Duterte sapagkat yung schedule ni Pangulong Duterte medyo erratic din. But I got an appointment with Mayor Pastel Duterte, who is the Executive Vice President of their party, PDP Laban. And as in any other encounter, pagka nagkaharap-harap, hindi maiiwasang pag-usapan ng politika. Wala pang plano si Pangulong Duterte based on what we have discussed with the Mayor Pastel last Monday. And so, I do not know. Things are moving very fast lately, so I do not know kung merong development as of today.
Pero sir, may possibility na hanggang sa bago magpatapos ang filing ng COC, mag-decide si President Duterte?
I cannot speak for him, Bella. I know you understand. It's not in my nature to be anticipating or speaking on behalf of someone without authority.
Follow up lang sa tanong niya. Sige, sir. Yung sinasabi niya about the danger of charter change politically. Ilang kailangan senador para makalampas ito, ma-approve ang controversial charter change? Ilan ang kailangan ng proponents ng charter change para makalusot? Tapos ilan ang kailangan ng opposition para mabalanse and to stop the charter change controversial?
It depends, Wilson, on what form or vehicle they will be using in their attempt to amend the Constitution.
Yes.
But just the same, I always have this analysis that for any opposition or check and balance to progress and to prosper in any democratic government, you just have to choose whether having a dominant opposition or effective opposition. Dominant opposition may be 6 or 8 solid opposition in the Senate. But at the rate things are going now, mukhang mahihirapang magkaroon ng dominant opposition. So I think I would rather see, I'd love to see our country to have, if not a dominant opposition, at least an effective opposition.
How many ulit ang effective opposition?
Maybe 3 or 4 who will be speaking for the people, who will be siding with the people.
At least
Para
3 or
para
4.
articulate. Because at the end of the day, whatever mode of medium, they will have to submit it through a plebiscite for ratification. But once there is an
Yes.
effective opposition in the Senate, mas-crystallize yung issues. Merong magcha-champion ng katotohanan, may magcha-champion ng balancing paggalaw pagdating dito sa tangkang baguhin ng ating salita.
Thank you. Thank you, Belia. Thank you, Attorney Dick. Hi, sir. Yes.